Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to Kicking It with Tim and the Mechanic. My name's Tim. He's the mechanic, Brandon Cuttino. How you doing today, sir?
Good, man. Ready to talk some Glory Collision with you.
Man, what a weekend. Glory Collision 4. It had the big fight feels that we were really craving. Alistair Overeem and Badr Hari in the last few fights of their career. A trilogy decades in the making. And the two fought 3 good rounds against each other. Tell us, what did you think of the event? What did you think of the fight? Lay it all on us, Mr. Cuttino.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Glory, of course, big event. I mean, especially being there in a big time dome. I mean, the place looked sold out. But yeah, man, to go into the fight, like I said, I think the fight played out exactly how I thought it would. If you guys we go back to our last show, like I said, to me, I said if Badr Hari was going to win this fight, it has to be in the first round. If it goes past the first round, it's going to be Overeem's fight. Even Joseph Valtellini was even saying that too. When Todd Grisham was asking about the fight, he was even saying, hey, if it's first round, Badr Hari, after that, it's Overeem. And that's really what it was. It was Overeem, to me, was taking his time, kind of just getting his feel for it. He was really kind of just working his defense. Like you said, like the first round was definitely Badr Hari. He had the bigger strikes, was doing more things. Overeem was kind of just shelling up. And then in the second round, you can see Overeem's like, okay, now I'm going to go forward, put some pressure on him. Same thing. He really wasn't throwing as much. Badr Hari was winning the round. But again, though, he kept on pressuring Badr Hari. It means Badr Hari's going to go backwards. Badr Hari's going to get tired. And then boom, third round came around. That's when Overeem struck, knocked him down 2 times. That's how we got the W.
Oh, man. And yeah, Alistair Overeem transitioning into that late career MMA fighter where he was a very economical fighter and he would go into late rounds and just outpace guys. He's still able to do that in his advanced age at 42, I believe. But yeah, he's just a late round fighter, especially if it's only a 9-minute fight. He's a fresh fighter going into that third round. And Badr Hari, one of the problems that he's not as durable as he was, and he's not as durable as Overeem. And Overeem is not that very durable of a fighter, but Badr Hari has taken so much damage, even just like in the last 2 years. He's taken so much damage, and it kind of showed in this fight of just he can't take shots. He can't take shots at all. I mean, it is heavyweight, of course, and Overeem's a massive man, but yeah, he can't take shots at all. But it was like you said, first round, Badr Hari landed like 2 or 3 shots where we're thinking like, oh, this might be it. Overeem stumbling here. But yeah, just couldn't keep it up over 3 rounds, right?
And then also too, like it really started in the second round because in the second round, Overeem hit him with that uppercut, and then Overeem and then Badr Hari landed on Overeem. Then Overeem like kind of stepped away, and that's when like Badr Hari fell. But the ref was like, no, like maybe like a flash knockdown. But when like they kept on showing the replays, like yeah, you can tell that uppercut really kind of caught him and stunned him. But like I said though, it was on like come the second round. Like I said, Overeem had his plan. He knew what his game plan was. And like I said, I think it was just, his durability. Like I said, because Badr Hari, like I told you, Badr Hari in the press conference leading up to him was like, hey, I'm going to test this character. I'm going to test him. And like I said, that's why we thought, hey, he's going to come out the first round. Overeem just knew, hey, let me make it past the first round. I'll be good. Because usually after that, either Badr Hari will get caught or Badr Hari somehow gets injured. Like say, his second fight with Rico, he was winning that fight. Boom, he throws a spinning hook kick in the third round, hurts his ankle or Achilles or something like that. Got hurt. His both fights with Werdzik, he was doing real great, and then boom, third round he got caught. So I think Overeem just kind of saw that, and like I said, he was training with Nick Hemmers. So like I said, I think he had the game plan. It worked out perfectly for him, and like I said, he got his hand raised, and now I think we all know what should be next. But I mean, the heavyweight division is kind of in turmoil over here. But I mean, you see Rico coming out, trying to get in Alder's face, and of course, Overeem had the best reaction, which of course people made it a gif out here. So that means it was golden.
I'm super surprised. So yeah, Badr Hari, probably his last fight. He and I think just even in the last 3 fights, he's visibly aged every fight from the first Verdrosik fight to the second Verdrosik fight. It was a clear difference to the Overeem fight. You're seeing him age before his eyes, probably retire before he starts taking even more damage than necessary. One thing that really surprised me about the Rico Verhoeven Alistair Overeem, because Overeem's a big guy. Man, Rico's huge. Holy shit. Like, he's even compared to a large man. That guy is a unit and a half, right?
Yeah, and Rico's big. I think isn't Rico like 6'4"? I think Alistair's like 6'3". So yeah. I mean, he definitely has an inch on him. But yeah, man, I mean, let's see what happens. Like I said, man, Alistair, Alistair knows how to work the mic, how to get under Rico's skin, which he did pretty well. Because like I said, you saw Rico come in and he came in hot. He came in straight at him, so we shall see what happens.
How cute was it? Because from my perspective, it was adorable that Badr Hari was the voice of reason to be like, give me a second, gentlemen. Stop fighting. I need to say something. And both of them were like, okay, sorry, Badr.
Like it's like I said, dude, like I told you, like I mean, I want to say like Badr, like I really wasn't that big of a Badr Hari fan, like growing up and everything like that into the kickboxing sport. But like lately, I'm telling like this guy, like saying he has changed. He has said it like he's kind of become a little more humble and stuff. Like the man just says things that resonate with me, and I feel what he's saying, and I think it's just same thing. Like he just gotten smart, and like say he just knew he had some things that he wanted to say, and he just one of those guys that just, hey, relax, let me get this moment, and then also let me share this moment with you guys, because then boom, he had all three of them were hugging at the same time. They did a big group hug and everything like that.
Yeah. It was adorable, and it was just such a respect to one another, which is really good to see, which is absolutely lovely to see. Both men were extremely respectful going into the fight, and yeah, I think all the K1 guys of that era really do respect each other quite a bit, and I think it really clearly shows all the time. Like we were just talking off air about Semi Schilt. He thanked all the K1 guys. He just had so much respect for that group. And yeah, it was a really good time. But Badr Hari was one of those guys. And it's hard to really pinpoint what his legacy is in kickboxing, because talent-wise, you could make the argument that he might be the greatest heavyweight in history, but he doesn't have the accolades to do it. He's got so many losses on his record. He got dumb losses that he didn't have to take and all this other stuff going on with him. But yeah, like Overeem said, he was like, this guy, he's wasted potential in the years that he should have been amazing. The 2008, 2009, he was on point. 2010, he was suspended. Like stuff just kept happening. And I think he's one of the greatest kickboxers in history just based on his talent. But yeah, what do you think? Walking away from the sport, maybe the biggest Moroccan star in combat sports by quite a large margin, one of the biggest Moroccan stars. What is the legacy that Badr Hari leaves behind?
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's an icon, man. Like saying he's a legend in the sport. He's a legend to all Moroccans. Like I told you guys at the last show, I knew of a woman who lives out here in New York. Doesn't really follow kickboxing, but she knows who Badr Hari is. The only reason because she's Moroccan, he's Moroccan. So I mean, she knows who he is, and like I said, if he's fighting, she's trying to watch him. Like saying like that's somebody which, to me, is like, man, like he just has a following. Like I think if he was coming up now, and with social media and everything like that, I think he would be even a bigger star, than what he is.
I think so too. Especially a contrast of like a bad boy compared to Rico, and he's in his physical prime. Yeah, no, I think that would sell. That would be good.
Yeah. So I mean, like I say, dude, like wins and losses happens, especially in kickboxing, but it's like say it's how you are in the ring, how you perform. And like I say, man, he came out like you always knew he was game, to fight anybody and everybody.
Yep, absolutely. Just say he fought everybody put in front of him. He fought guys like in their prime. Like one thing we talk about is sometimes you fight fighters years after when it doesn't matter as much. Badr fought the best of the best in their prime, win or lose, and he was always game. And I think we really see his legacy even at this event, where half of the fighters are Moroccan Dutch. That's Badr Hari. Those guys watched Badr growing up and got into kickboxing because of him, and now there's a generation of great Moroccan kickboxers because of Badr Hari's influence, right?
Yeah, man. Like I said, dude. We will talk about him later, but the lightweight champ,
Tyjani.
Yep, Tyjani Beztati. He basically said was like, hey, he basically wants to be the next Badr Hari. He's basically trying to say like, hey, Moroccan fans, I'm your guy. Follow me now.
Yeah, and he really, we'll talk about it in a bit, but let's stick to the big boys. Let's stick with the heavyweights. Plazabot saw him walking around backstage, shook hands with him briefly. According to him, he says that Alistair Overeem and Rico already had a contract signed to fight in 2023. So Plazabot has to sit out, or he has to take a fight. He has to beat up somebody else for whatever reason. But it looks like Overeem and Rico are the fight that they're absolutely going to make. Regardless, this is the entertaining. I know it's going to sell. I'm going to hype it up leading up to it. We all know that. Rico versus Alistair Overeem. Let's be real. Does Overeem have a chance in this fight?
I mean, all right. So I am okay with Alistair Overeem getting the fight before Plazabot because originally, like Alistair said it, like they were supposed to fight. Was it
2 years?
earlier? No, last year, but
2021.
yeah, but Alistair got hurt, so they had to postpone the fight. And then that's when Rico fought Jamal Ben Sadiq instead. And in which of course he got injured in that fight. So that's why he hasn't fought this whole year. So that's why Alistair kept on basically saying, like, hey, I was supposed to fight for the title anyway. This is really a title fight for me. Technically, I'm the champion because Rico didn't defend his belt, yada, yada, yada. Which of course I thought was great because in the weigh-ins, when the weigh-in / press conference, he basically called out Scott Rudman about it. He was like, hey, Scott, don't you have to defend your belt in a year? And Scott basically was like, yes, you're right, but Rico has been our champion for such a long time. We're going to give him some time, which of course I can understand. Like the guy, like a lot of people get on Rico about fighting, but the thing is, like, before maybe the past 2 years, that dude was fighting like 2-3 times a year. Like he wanted to fight, hence why he was cycling through the heavyweight division. Like saying, like, he fought he fought Benjamin Adegbuyi twice. He fought. Man, why can't I remember his name, man? The dude with the scorpion kick.
Are you talking about Guto?
No, not Guto. I think he's also from Croatia as well. Okay. But I mean, he fought him 2 times as well. But that's because Rico was like, yo, I'm here to fight like 2 or 3 times a year. Like that's why they had to bring in like Bigfoot Silva, because he was just going through the heavyweight division that they didn't have anybody for him to fight.
Oh, Brestovac.
Yeah. So which is why I think Rico had did that heavyweight tournament, for the 4 fights, the fights one night, because he just wanted to stay busy because Rico was about fighting. But the thing was, like, then next like saying the heavyweight division was kind of thinning out. People who they wanted to get title shots with him, like say like a Ishmael Lunt, who they brought in, but the thing was he couldn't beat the Adegbuis, the Jamal Ben Sadiqs out there. So basically, Rico was just fighting the same guys again, defending his belt again. So that's why Rico was like, all right, let me take a break and let me see some new faces come about. Like, hence why I think they got Alistair Overeem as well. Hey, another big name, Badr Hari, big name, stuff like that, because it's like he was just cycling through the heavyweight division already. He was basically lapping them. He absolutely was. So that's why I'm fine with Overeem getting this fight. Hey, man, I'm not gonna count Overeem out. Like I said, Overeem is a thinker, man. He's gotten older. He has his game plans. He that's what he's really good. He's good with coming up with game plans. The only thing is, does he follow the game plan? That's the only thing that usually always gets Overeem in trouble. Do you think about his fight? It's a UFC fight, but it's still a fight where he was winning against Rosenstruck.
Yeah, we can name a few.
He was winning that fight all the way down. Then boom, 10 seconds left in the last round. He just kind of got dumb, let his hands drop, got knocked out. So I mean, hey man, Rico does have the speed advantage. Probably, it's heavyweight, power's power. So I just think that Overeem will have a game plan. Let's see what happens. Most likely, I probably will lean towards Rico just because Rico has been unstoppable lately. We shall see. But I mean, to me, man, like I thought Plazabot and Jamal Ben Sadiq were kind of on bad terms with Glory because Scott Rudman was like, "Hey, these guys aren't fighting until they fight again." But then the thing is, though, you had Plazabot do your Instagram takeover, and I mean, he was killing it. Man was funny. Like, dude, he's the star out here, man. He speaks English, So to me, I mean, I don't know. To me, man, let Plazabot get next, and I think he has no problem waiting.
No, there's a lot I want to touch on there, but Alistair Overeem, like you said, winning until he was losing is such a good summary of his entire MMA career. I forget who said it, but someone said he had front runner syndrome. Just like he was beating everybody that he lost to, even early on, the 2003 Grand Prix. He was definitely beating Chuck. He was beating Shogun in 2005 when it really mattered until he was losing. And then he takes like the thing is with Overeem is that at any given moment, I swear that he could have beaten Fedor and then he would have lost to Sergey Haratonov in the next fight. Like his career is just so interesting and odd forever now. You know what I mean? He's just, and I think that's the bigger weight classes, and he always had a questionable chin, but he was cutting so much weight to make 205 at one point. But yeah, just one of the most interesting careers in history. But yeah, him and Rico, Overeem's trying the drowning style. Not so like it really worked in the second and third round there. Really getting in close, the one-handed clinching stuff, really getting in close. There's not a lot of space that I would give Overeem an advantage in terms of like he's not. I don't think he's faster. I don't think he's bigger. I don't think he's stronger. But if he can close the distance and keep it in tight, then we have an interesting fight on our hands. And really, that lead up is going to be a ton of fun. Look at
because I mean, the thing is like, man, like, are you really going to try to get Rico Verhoeven tired? Like, Rico probably has the best conditioning in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
So I mean, so I mean, it will be interesting to see if he tries the pressure style, and jam, and trying to jam him up, make him go backwards and stuff like that, and have him try to fight going backwards. So I mean, it will be interesting to see what Alistair tries to do. You never know. Alistair could change it up, and he could go straight forward and just go balls to the wall out here. But we shall see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Rico. Yeah, he's had some obviously amazing wins. Super talented kickboxer. Also, like he's like the opposite. I don't know how to explain it because I'm not a technician expert. But like, there's the traditional Dutch style, and he's almost the exact opposite of traditional Dutch style, where he'll like very much like the. Everyone in the comments is gonna be like, Tim's an idiot, but like the kicking on the off legs and stuff like that. It has a very unique style, and I think it's carved around trying to beat guys who are in that golden age period, like when he had to beat guys like Daniel Guida and Gokhan Saki, Errol Zimmerman. Like he had to carve out a style that was almost a counter to what the K1 golden age was. Yeah, and no one's been able to beat that at all. He's just been running through guys, so he's carved out a really cool style for himself. But yeah, that was all good stuff. I think everyone's just keeping the belt warm for Blazabot. But how funny would it be if we got to throw in a wrench and Hezdy Jurges somehow knocks out Rico Verhoeven?
Hey, man, it's combat sports, man. Things can happen.
Heavyweight, they're throwing stuff around. Stuff happens. Hezdy Jurges doesn't quit. He's a baller.
Also, too, I think this is Hezdy Jurges, I think, retirement fight. I believe he said, like, this is going to be his last fight. So, I mean, hey, man, if it's his last fight, he's going to go all out.
I can't believe that his last fight wasn't his last fight. He's just been fighting for so long now. Hezdy Jurges. All right, let's move on. Should we give a quick word to the Hall of Fame? Michel gets inducted to the Hall of Fame. Probably quite well deserved. I mean, he was the first Glory champion. He's an absolute legend. He is the most decorated kickboxer in history. What do you think of the Semi-Schilt induction and his legacy to kickboxing and all that?
Yeah, stuff? No, well deserved. He's definitely somebody, because I think I was thinking about, like, man, who because I had almost forgotten. I'm like, oh wait, yeah, Glory Collision means they're gonna induct somebody into the Hall of Fame. So I was trying to think who it is that it could be. But then once they kind of started reading it out who it was, and especially too, you basically go like, oh yeah, the last guy to beat Rico. I'm like, all right, yeah, Semi-Schilt is who it probably is. So I mean, well deserved. Like I said, you've seen him in the corner of some fighters at Glory as well. So I mean, well deserved. I think he's saying he definitely is an ambassador of the sport. I'm just thinking, like, man, who could be next year? I actually do have somebody in my mind who I think they could be next year. I think I had two people, but I think the first person I'm leaning towards is I think it should be probably Robin Van Roosmalen.
100%. He was a double champion when it really did matter a lot for the Orient. I agree with you. I don't know what he has to do to get in the Hall of Fame, but like, he deserves it. He's earned it.
Well, I mean, it doesn't help that, like, they're only doing like one person a year. So I mean, people are going to be waiting forever. But the other person who I was thinking of who would be automatic, but that's because I'm just like probably prisoner of the moment. But I mean, I could see it. If Badr Hari was to say, hey, guys, I'm done, I'm out, I could see him getting into the Hall of Fame, like next year.
So let's talk about, like, Badr Hari, maybe his best years were just slightly before Glory. Are we just going to say that Glory's Hall of Fame is then kickboxing's Hall of Fame? And like, don't worry about what they actually did in Glory. It is the Glory Hall of Fame, but like, this is really just a kickboxing Hall of Fame. Is that more fair to say at this point?
Yeah, that's what it is, because you listen to what they talk about. I mean, besides Joseph Valtellini, really was his whole thing was Glory. But I mean, when they were talking about Semi-Schilt, they were talking about K1 days for him and everything like that. They were talking about what he was doing beforehand. So I mean, for them, like I said, it's not about what you just did in Glory. To me, it's just like, are you an ambassador for kickboxing?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's completely reasonable. Yeah.
You
No.
know, heck, man. I can't remember. Like, I know he said the requirement. I don't remember if the requirement is that, oh, you do have to fight for glory at least one time. I can't remember that exactly because I'm sure one person who could maybe come up to, which is, somebody who's no longer with us, but a Roman Deckers is probably somebody who they could put into the Hall of Fame as well, because he did so much for kickboxing as well. But we'll just have to wait and see, each and every year.
Yeah, so this is what I'm just saying here. Number one, the inductee must be a former retired from active participation in glory athlete. But like you were saying with Rico's like title offense, like we make exceptions for fighters all the time. Like this is just, they can change their own rules. It's not that big of a deal. I actually don't mind it if they changed it to be a little bit more of a kickboxing Hall of Fame and just put like you get Ernesto Hoost and Peter Arts and a couple other guys in there who really do deserve that, and definitely Robin van Roosman. Get him in there already.
I think he should be, because saying he was a double champion. He won at lightweight and featherweight, so I think he's somebody that's well deserving. To me, he is my number one person, because like I say, like he just announced his retirement this year. With the injuries and everything like that. Heck, man, Remy could be somebody who could be next for them as well. Like I say, they got plenty of options.
Oh yeah, there's tons out there. Let's move forward. Did it come across weird at home? Because to me, I think everyone in the arena was like, "Oh, this pacing is a little bit weird." Did it come across a little bit weird to why not just do this at a press conference? Because I think like people in the ring, on the mic, trying to like really have a nice moment, it's just coming across a little bit awkward. Why not just do this at a press conference the day before? I don't know.
Oh yeah, well, they like to do it, in the ring in front of the people. I know that Scott Rudman had to basically say hello like 2 times to the people, to get some noise.
Everybody was on their phone or in the bathroom or getting pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like the first time he said it, nobody answered, and then he said it again. Then people are like, "Oh, it's like, all right, okay, something's going on." Like I said, like they didn't know what was happening. So, but no, I think it came across well.
Cool. All right, cool. Tiffany van Soest gets a controversial close decision defending her title against Sarah Moussaddak. Where did you think of the fight? How did this come across? Like, what did you square up? Is this a reasonable decision and all that?
So to be honest with you, man, this fight is actually the reason why I wanted us to do a show, because it was some controversy out here and there, and of course the whole card was good, but this is the fight that I kind of really wanted to talk about. So
lay into it.
So to me, I watched it. I understand what people are saying. So to me, I gave the fight to Tiffany van Soest. I thought she won 3 rounds to 2. I gave her the 2nd, 4th, and 5th round. I gave her opponent the 1st and 3rd. Now, if you just look at the stats, her opponent crushed her, killed her, and outstruck her, everything like that. But again, if you look at what Glory's criteria is for judging, the first thing is damage. Okay, they were kind of even. Second thing, knockdowns. All right, kind of even. Now, here's the third thing, which is where I think Tiffany van Soest took it from her, which is they're looking for spectacular striking. So spectacular, and then they go to effective regular striking. So spectacular striking, let's go back to that. What was Tiffany van Soest throwing a lot of in that 4th and 5th round? Spinning back fist, spinning back fist, spinning back fist all the time. You see it. Even in that 5th round, she did a combo of a spinning back kick into a spinning back fist. So that's back-to-back spectacular techniques. And I think that's what gave her the win, according to the judges. All right. And again, I was kind of leaning towards that because I was thinking about what the criteria is. And like I said, she's throwing these spectacular techniques while her opponent was just throwing a regular, jab, cross, round kick, nothing spectacular, nothing to say, ooh, ah, Okay. So I'm saying while Tiffany van Soest was throwing a spinning back fist, like basically like all the time, it seemed like, even though it was getting blocked, but she was still throwing it. It had some little umph to it because I think her opponent did kind of move a little bit, as she blocked, like saying, she's still feeling it. And then of course, she's throwing her spinning back kicks as well. So again, she's throwing more spectacular techniques. So that's going to be a higher grade than just regular, effective striking. So that's why I think Tiffany van Soest got the dub.
Yeah, you're going to get I think that's a great rundown on the judging criteria and kind of what went down in the fight. And Brandon, honestly, agree with you. And I know that's not the popular or like the leading opinion right now. But honestly, I agree with you. And I wasn't judging with my judging cap on. I wasn't counting strikes as I was sitting there. I wasn't even counting rounds. But just based on the feel of things, I think Tiffany showed that she was a better fighter. Her strikes made more of a difference. The knees and spinning back fists made more of a difference as they were landing. And like, I might go back and watch the fight and change my mind. However, based on what I've seen, it seemed like Tiffany is the better fighter out of the two. If they want to run it back, that's cool in front of a neutral audience. Maybe that's okay. Yeah. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Tiffany showed that she's the best pound for pound, best woman fighter on earth right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little thrown off about Tiffany's corner because Andy Sauer was in her corner, and I was like, whoa. I'm like, what's Andy Sauer doing here? Because in the beginning, when you see her, when they're announcing her, you don't see her new coach. I think his name is Corban. I think is how you say his name. But you just see her like, I guess, nutritionist, special, whatever type of coach he is, I just see that guy in the corner. I don't even see Andy Sauer. Then next thing you know, the first round is over, and then boom, Andy Sauer's in the ring. I'm like, whoa, where did he come from? You know. So I was just like, well, where's her normal coach at? I'm like, is Andy Sauer like in part of the team or what? Was he just hanging around? And Tiffany was like, oh, hey, if you're not doing anything, you want to corner me? So I was kind of thrown off by that. Like, that's why I thought maybe she could have been a little thrown off with that. Somebody else coaching her. She doesn't know how Andy Sauer wants. But I mean, they seemed like they had good communication in the ring. Seemed like she was listening to him pretty well. And kind of like I think the commentator staff say, like, basically like going to the fifth round, like Andy Sauer kind of had it where, like, I think he thought she was winning, she was cruising, like, there was like no urgency to what they were saying. But I see where I can be like, yeah, well, it's, to me, I had it tied 2-2. So to me, it's like the fifth round is where it's at. But I think one judge did have her up, we shall see.
Well, yeah, and that's interesting, and it's a great person to have in your opponent. He's very smart, well versed in the kickboxing. Do you think he's just out here trying to like work with as many American kickboxers as possible before he launches his American kickboxing promotion or something like that?
I don't know. I mean, I did see, because I think I know she did share an Insta story of him warming her up in the back. So I mean, he was there, I guess, in the beginning, but. I mean, I don't know what their relationship is, like I said, because I know she usually trains with somebody else, and next thing I know, you just see Andy Sauer in the corner. It's like, oh, all right, that's cool.
But yeah, I think I'm going to try to set up an interview her later this week, and I'll ask her what's going on with this. How did you guys meet? Yeah. How did you guys start training? How do you find training with a legend like that? And how's the new? I mean,
heck, man. Speaking of Andy Sauer, I mean, he's somebody who also could be in the Glory Hall of Fame as well.
Man, I was only thinking about heavyweights. I didn't even mention any of the K1 Max fighters. Yeah, if you look at K1 Max, oh man, get Petrosian in there, get Buakaw in there. Like, there's just so good.
I mean, Petrosian and Sauer did have fights in Glory, so I mean, it can happen.
What about who is the short Greek fella? I forget his name every time that I think about him. It'll come back to me in a bit. I bet he fought. Give me a sec. I bet he fought Andy Sauer. Mike Zambides. What about Mike Zambides? Why not? He was just like the fifth best during a golden age of amazing 5 fighters ahead of him during K1 Max. But anyway, we won't talk about that anymore. Yeah, Tiffany van Soest, we're both in agreement on this. We think she showed that she won, but if you guys disagree, that's fine. Leave it down below. Make sure to interact with the video. Make sure to really leave it in the comments down below. Interact with it. Go to our website and check out the shirts and interact with the comments there. Tell us why we're wrong on our own website. The store is the best place to reach us.
Yeah, I mean, I will tell you this. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to run it back, but I did like her. But I did like her call out of Denise Koholtz.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked by that because I mean, like I said, I don't know her contract status, but I thought that Denise was still in Bellator, even though I do know she is fighting on the Rico show as well. Yes. But I just thought, I mean, hey man, Scott Coker, he likes to let people, cross over, to other promotions as well, like that. Yeah. But I mean, hey, I mean, she could still be on the Bellator, and like again, Scott Coker, he is a fan of co-promotions, letting people cross over. So I mean, I'm down for that fight. I will be honest with you. Back in 2014, I did pick Denise Koholtz against Tiffany van Soest in Infusion, and if they fight again, I will probably be picking Denise Koholtz again. I've been a big Denise Koholtz fan ever since Infusion again, man, the reality show of Infusion, that's what got me into it. In the first season, Denise Quijos was one of the coaches, and I was like, ooh, who's Miss Dynamite? I dig her. Okay, I like her. So, we shall see it. But I mean, I would be down for that, for that fight. Because again, it's like, who was Tiffany van Soest gonna fight? Like, you look at this girl she had, this girl only had 8 fights, in her pro career. So I mean, it's like, yo, we got to get these ladies, getting some fights so they can get some experience out here.
I think the Denise is a great fight. I think it's very accomplishable. Bellator, I think, is fine with doing those kinds of things, especially if you're fighting not in the US. Like, just go ahead. Yeah, of course. I think they can probably set that fight up. And I also think it's a good name fight as well. Both of them very recognizable names against each other. It's a rematch from 2014 from Infusion. But yeah, big fan of Denise, big fan of Tiffany. I'd love to see it. I think it's a great call out. I mean, I wish the crowd wasn't so mean about it. I mean, you can boo all you want.
Hey, man, the Moroccans love their people. The Moroccans love their people.
Anyway, if you guys disagree, you can go on our website, the shop down below, and make sure to boo us lots there. You can buy our clothes and burn them off. Just buy them. I don't care what you do with them. So let's go down the card. An amazing fight. Just an incredible fight. I need to show Tarik so much more respect than I've been showing him for the last 2 years. Because he was incredible. Digging deep. Coming back when you needed to. Sergej Maslobojev looked the champion that he needed to look in this fight. He dug deep. Clearly, both of these guys were hurt. The leg kicks were heavy going into the last round. The body shots were digging deep, and these guys were still trading back and forth. This was an awesome fight. Split decision win goes to the new champion, picking up the vacant title to Sergej Maslobojev. What do you think of this matchup?
So, shout outs to our guys of Veg Sports. They actually had a poll of which title fight was the best title fight. And in that poll, I actually picked this fight as the best title fight, in which most people seem to agree with me as well, because to me, this was the most action-packed of the fights. Like I said, these guys were just trading, going back and forth. Again, me and you both picked Sergej, to get his hand raised, and which he did. Like I say, he came out, was tearing up Tank's leg, especially in the first round. Man, you could see the bruising. And then those uppercuts he was throwing on him, man. He was just going through his guard, letting those uppercuts go. Tank was ripping those body shots. It was good, man. It was a good back and forth fight. But to me, man, Sergej did more. And he was the more active fighter as well. Because to me, like I said, I feel like Tank waits, tries to shell up and then counter. But with somebody like Sergej, man, who's coming forward, chopping your legs, and he's moving around as well. So I mean, kudos to him. Let's see what's next. I think he was somehow having injuries. So I mean, he's gonna want to, maybe take a little break, because I think that was a lead up going into this fight where I think we heard that, he wanted to take a break after this fight. But then after the fight, he said why. He's like, hey, I got some injuries, guys. So kudos for him for fighting injured as well.
And I think that's why he wasn't throwing the leg kicks later into the fight, because we were sitting there and you could see the visible bruising. And I think he landed one in the fifth, and it made Tarik stumble over. But I think it's because his knee was barely holding together. He couldn't literally throw the kick after a while. But yeah, digging. Both these guys had visible bruising on their legs by the end of the fight. But yeah, that's the stuff that kind of sticks with you. Just this is an incredible fight. Both of these guys wanted the title so bad. Sergej taking some time off, good for him. And Tarik, he's fought the best out there. And he's shown guts and toughness in every fight out. He shows skill. I think he's improving fight to fight as well. Good job to Tarik. A split decision. I think, one of the problems as well, like you're saying, almost style-wise, doesn't work well for the judges, because he shells up either too late or too early in the round, but somehow he always gives his opponent. He's landing. Sometimes he's winning the round and then will give the rest of the round to his opponent. And if you give away that last half, it tends to wear with the judges or stay with the judges a little bit more. But yeah, a few of those rounds were just 1 to 2 strikes away from Tarik stealing the title. Like he just a little bit of style adjustment here and there, and he could be a world champion. Absolutely. Yeah,
man. I mean, hopefully, Luis Tavares gets his stuff settled, and we can get him fighting for the title.
I miss Luis Tavares.
Yeah, man. Dude, man. I miss Vahitov as well. Hopefully his stuff gets taken care of too as well, and Glory let him back in.
But yeah, it's a good division now. It's a good division. We got this guy spread out a little bit. Bakadov might be in one championship. He was in Singapore, but nothing's been officially announced, so we don't really know. Roman Krikula, the light heavyweight champion in one, is in the heavyweight tournament. So there's a lot going on. There's finally light heavyweight is an interesting division. We got stuff going on, but yeah, we got some fun guys in there. Tyjani Beztati, the Moroccan lightweight champion, rose to the occasion in which he needed to. From the walkout to the introduction, it looked like a person who knew his place, that this is his night, that all of these fans are going to walk out of here. Any viewers at home, they're going to leave his fans tonight. This was like the Tyjani show, and he lived up to it, and he had a great fight, and he looked good for some incredible moments here and there, and they were trading shots. This was a really good fight back and forth here. Tell me what your thoughts are. Tyjani walked away as the champion. What do you think?
Yeah, no, man, it was a good fight. The only thing I was thinking about was like how he kept on saying, Stoya wasn't ready for him. He doesn't have anything for him. He wasn't going to do anything. But I just said, like he was just hyping up the fight. But man, if Stoya had put it more on him in the fifth round, because to me, Tyjani looked tired in the fifth round. To me, the fifth round, he was just covering up. He was just moving. Like, I mean, you could hear Big Mike basically saying, "Don't let him dance away from you," because that's all he was doing. He was basically trying to keep distance, move around, and block. He really wasn't throwing much. Like, he would throw a shot here and there, but you could tell in the fifth round he was tired. But Stoya also too was tired as well. But I mean, going to the previous fourth rounds, man, to me, Wonder Boy, Beztati, he just put it on him. I mean, say it was a good fight. They were going back and forth. This is their third fight. Heck, man. I mean, to me, these guys, you probably could see them fight 4 or 5 times. Just like Sidachai and Gregorian did. Like to me, man, in kickboxing, dudes can fight forever, especially too if the lightweight division is a little shallow. But again. Let's get other guys fighting. Like, say, other guys haven't been fighting that lightweight division. Like we were talking about the last show. Like, I think there are plenty of guys also on the roster, but they're just not getting the fights.
Yeah, absolutely. More shows, get these guys moving a little bit. The divisions haven't moved much because there hasn't been a ton of shows going on. But yeah, this was a great fight. Tyjani rose to the occasion. I think you mentioned one thing of like, don't let him dance away from you, that even when Tyjani is playing defense, one of the reasons that his style works well for the judges is because he looks good when he's defending himself. He looks like he's being tactical in there. And like, maybe you could make the argument he's not doing any better defense than Tarik was, but he looks way better doing it. Yeah. And that stuff stays with the judges. If you're able to defend yourself with some style, it's dumb, but like, it looks like you're in control of the fight.
And then also too, one more thing, just we were talking about it being his night. And then of course, man, like I say, a lot of guys don't play it's not really playing the game, but they don't seize the moment. Dude, when he got that mic in front of him, he knew exactly what he was gonna say. Shout out breast cancer, talk about his mom. You get the crowd on your side. They're like, okay, I like this guy. I'm gonna follow him. So I mean, hey man, he's doing the right things, man. Like I said, let's see if the Moroccans will follow him.
Oh, cosign, major cosign and all these feelings. Absolutely, man. This guy rose to the occasion. He got kicked in the head and shrugged it off. Oh, and then he called out breast cancer. Oh, this guy, he knew the right night. And he was fighting in an empty arena just like 4 months ago in a masterclass of a fight. But now in front of the fans, he rose to it. Oh, just love to see that stuff. These are great storylines in fighting. Just love the sport. Petch got a great victory. But yeah, some people were a little bit critical of him just being a little bit second gear for some of the fight. Great body kicks, dominated this fight, like really injured his opponent who had a size advantage on him. But yeah, he landed effectively, clearly was a better fighter out of the two. What'd you think of this title fight?
I mean, dude, we talked about, man, this was Petch all day, every day. I mean, Vidali's, like I said, I don't know what Vidali's been doing besides, I mean, all they kept on saying was, hey, since the last time we saw him, he's now a dentist. That's it. So again, I don't think to me, like I say, I think it's been 3 years since the last time he fought in Glory. So to me, this is his first fight in 3 years. While Petch has been active, he's been fighting. He won a Rise Championship. He's been having high caliber fights while Vidali's is in school over here, not doing anything. And to me, man, you come out and give this guy a title fight with Petch, who's been having title fights, like saying, like the dude, like, and you could see it, like he came out and he was playing Petch's game. Like he was just throwing one strike. He wasn't throwing combinations until maybe like later on in the rounds where I think his corner was telling him to do, like, yo, you need to do combinations if you want to have the better of him, which he did do. But then Petch got his distance, got his timing. Vidal still we would throw like 3 strikes, but on that 3rd strike, Petch is already going. He's out the way. He got his distance. It was already too late. And again, he was just trying to trade round kicks with him. It's like, dude, you ain't gonna beat Petch on round kicks over here.
No, major cosign with that. Petch, this was a great Petch fight. Do you think there's some criticism warranted for Petch that he maybe, it looks like you could have knocked out this opponent if you just
I know there's that thing of, hey man, if you're better than somebody and you can get them out, what's the point of sticking around, because hey, things can happen, you can get caught. So if you can get this guy out, get him out. But hey man, Petch was just chilling, man. I don't know, maybe he just wanted the ring time.
See, and that's the thing. Like, I think he knew that he was up at least 3 to 4 rounds going to the 5th and kind of chilled in the 5th round. But like, just based on what we're seeing, I feel like, man, those body kicks were digging. Like, I think you could have knocked him out, but whatever. He probably doesn't get paid a bonus for a knockout, so whatever. Who cares? Levi Rigters at heavyweight. He's been away for a year now or something like that. Because he fought in the tournament, and I don't think we've seen him since. He was scheduled for Jamal Benzadik, but we haven't seen him for a while. Fighting a fresh fighter, Kevin Tarik Ozaro. What do you think of this matchup? The two threw down against each other. Yeah, no, I mean,
good job by Rickers over here. Just did his thing. He got the job done. His opponent did come. To bang. They were definitely trading some shots. But yeah, man. Hopefully, like you say, we haven't seen Rickers in a while. Hopefully, he can stay active as well. They get some shows. I mean, heck, man, his opponent already has a fight scheduled for the Rivals 3 card, November 5th. So, I mean, he's already fighting. So, I mean, let's get Rickers a fight over here,
Well, yeah, and Rickers I can't believe he already has a fight. But Rickers,
they legit, like, I think came out the next day. It was like, oh, hey, guess who's fighting?
Man, kickboxing sometimes is insane. The reality of like, yeah, whatever, we'll sign. You're not even beat up yet. We're going to sign you for 2 months away, not even a month away. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's kickboxing. But yeah, Levy's in the right division of like, we need more guys breaking the locks of what's going on at heavyweight. Fight Jamal Benzadik, fight Antonio Plazabot. They've both called you out at this point. Levy is the odd one out of like, get into that top 5 already and really mix things up. You're the crown prince of kickboxing. Like, start, get into the mix there. Yeah. But yeah, twins earlier this year.
Let's see if maybe they will run that JBS fight back. Like they were supposed to fight at Glory 80. Let's see if they run that back.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, get Levy in there, start mixing it up with these guys. Like, keep heavyweight moving, keep this division moving forward because it's a good division. Don't want to say anything else on that one. Cesar Almeida slowly beats up Serkan Ozkaglayan. My best friend Serkan. I talked to him, like he came over and talked to me and my wife. Like, I'm not going to say anything bad about Serkan. He's an awesome guy. I really like him. He was in control for a few minutes and then just got hit and wasn't able to recover. Cesar Almeida is so tough as nails, no quit in him, hits hard constantly. What do you think of this matchup?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was going to say, like, to me, I feel like this is another thing of people being active and not being active. Like, when was the last time Sergey fought? Like, it was last year. Was it not at Glory Collision as well? Was that not his last fight?
Etrigal Bayrock, Glory 80, yeah, last 2022, March of this year he fought.
Oh, but all right. I thought so. I mean, so he hasn't fought since March. Was it like Almeida? I'm like, man, hasn't Almeida been a little more active?
He had no contest in September, and then he fought, and then he didn't fight since 2019.
Yeah, so
weird. But he fought Donovan Weiss and that like back in 2019, so high level stuff. And then he was also doing MMA in 2021, so doing some stuff here and there.
Yeah, so I mean, but he did have a fight, I guess, in September. It became a no contest, whatever. But I mean, the thing is, like, he's been active. Like he was right back into the groove of thing, and you could see, like, to me, he came out gangbuster, ready to go. While Serkan was kind of, he was trying to find his flow, and then boom, he got put down. Not once but twice. And that was the fight.
Yeah, my wife did ask me after we talked to Serkan. She was like, "Is Serkan going to win?" I said, "Serkan fights a very high risk style. Like he will go all out. He's very much like wide punching, and when it's landing and he finds his rhythm, he's very on point and very good. But if you can cut the center, if you can punch through what he's doing, it's a very dangerous style. It's a high risk, high reward style that he utilizes, and we kind of just saw it on this side. I talked to him on Instagram. He says he's more motivated than ever, so he'll be back. He wants to get back in there as soon as possible. So good for him. We'll see more from both of these guys in that division. Donagi I was saying it wrong. Abina beat up Philippe Michelini, and Sergej Braun unfortunately beat up Michael Boapea. Oh, Michael Boapea, I just want you to be so good. I want him to be champ. What do you think of these last two fights on the card?
Yeah, so Abina, shout out to him, man. This is his first fight with his new gym, which he too joined. He too joined SB Gym, which is where Badr Hari and Jafar Wellness train at now. To me, man, I feel like SB Gym is now becoming a new powerhouse gym over there in kickboxing. Like you see, I think they had like 3 guys on this card anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, shout outs to him. He looked good. He got the job done, which is great for him because, like I said, I think he was on like a 4-fight losing streak, which of course that Luis Tavares fight was a little in with the judges, but hey, shout outs to him. And then the freak, sorry, just had it.
Last one, Sergej Braun again, Michael Boapea.
That fight. I mean, I feel bad because Boapea was kind of talking big his last fight. He was like, "Hey, who's number one? Who's ranked number one? I want them." And boom, he gets this new guy, and he basically gets the break speed off of him. And now his stock went down.
I know. I feel bad because I wanted him to be very good because he's a cool guy. He's got a neat story, and he's fun to talk to and stuff like that. And I thought it would be him and Serkan Özkaglayan both win their fights and then fight for like a number 1 contender position. Now it looks like they're going to fight to try to get back in the win column, and Cesar Almeida will likely fight Sergej Braun. But yeah, I think we just both like Michael Boapea. Just wanted to do.
But not like his opponent brought it too. I mean, he brought it. He was game, but I definitely gave a Boapea, I think, the first round, but then in the second and third round, he got gas. He looked tired, and his opponent just kept on going.
I mean, you know what sucks about this industry is one thing, like both you and I came up on Jordan Breen, kind of like that like big talk, and like he wasn't pulling punches in the way that he talked. And both you and I, like early on, I was trying to be a little bit more like that, and then you start meeting people and talking about people. Like I'm not going to sit here and talk bad about Tiffany van Soest, who I talk to sometimes. You know what I mean? Like it's almost nice to be nameless in the industry, so you can just be ruthless and just be like, this guy sucks. This guy sucks. But now we're friends with all these guys. Like all of these guys are at the event. They're at the press conferences with me. We're talking before the fight. I can't just say like I almost miss just being able to say when nothing mattered.
I just kind of take the Remy approach, and it's like, yo, man, I know you, but I'm just gonna be brutal. I'm just gonna be honest. Just like Alistair Overeem did, in the press conference, like he was trying to be respectful to Badr Hari, but he was like, hey man, I see some things, and he basically called it. He was like, yo, I'm gonna put the nail in his coffin, and he's gonna be done after this. And so far, it seemed like Alistair Overeem was right, but he did it in a respectful way. So again, I'm not gonna come out and say, hey, somebody sucked. I'm just gonna say, hey, you didn't look good this time around, but that's just how it goes. But to me, man, overall, I thought the event was good. The only thing that I kind of want to critique is, I guess I didn't think there was enough big names. Like this is Glory Collision. This is your big show where I thought they were going to go all out. Like, I mean, we had Serkan on here. I thought his cousin was going to be on here. I thought we were going to, I thought we were going to see. What the heck is his cousin's name? I totally forgot it.
Gokhan Saki.
Yeah, exactly. Gokhan Saki. Exactly. Thank you. I don't know why. I had the face, but I can't remember the name right now. But no, like I said, I thought we were going to see Saki on there. I thought we were going to see Muhammad Jarrah on there, but again, it was, again, I'm not saying that I didn't like the fights. Hey, you gave us 4 title fights. I'm cool with that.
Legends match in the main event.
It was just good. Like I just kind of thought, hey, we were going to see Gokhan Saki, we were going to see Muhammad Jarrah, we were going to see more, I guess, bigger names, on the. But I mean, hey, we got Badr Hari, Overeem. Those are still big names. Tiffany van Soest, all the champions, still big names. Good, good show. I liked it. It was just, again, I just thought we were going to see Gokhan Saki, maybe Muhammad Jarrah on here. Like say, like you're going to get your bigger names on here, but. Again, hey, maybe they're saving for other shows. Like you already see Glory 82 coming. You're gonna get your welterweight title fight on there. So again, you got stuff coming up. So let's maybe spread it out. Like I said, you could have maybe Overeem and Rico and say maybe February, like, you give them some time after October, you come to February, maybe Glory 83 or Glory 84, whoever knows, what it is that they're thinking, but I'm thinking probably soon, so I'm thinking like a Glory 83, Glory 84 type deal.
Yeah, I think really ride that momentum that they've got right now. Like they're on talk shows right now, doing those sorts of things in the Netherlands. So I think they're really going to try to push the momentum. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't know why they didn't get more, kind of those really recognizable, put you over the top, because it was 4 title fights. Like one of them was vacant. Tyjani's a great name. Like some of them are a few unknowns here and there. But yeah, get those really great names like Gokhan Saki, Tyrone Spong, Brandon Cuttino. I don't know why they're not getting these big names.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Like, I mean, again, like it's just the thing that throws me off is like, yo, like when they re-signed Muhammad Uriah, they themselves said like, oh, fight announcement coming soon, and they re-signed him back in June.
Yeah, I know.
And it's October.
We're almost to the 1 year mark since Gokhan Saki took his James McSweeney like beat up.
James McSweeney was there though. He was in the corner of Badr Hari though. He was there. Was Gokhan Saki there though? I don't know.
I saw Valentine Overeem walking around. He was working as a cutman tonight on that night. It's cute, right? It's a little adorable.
Just hanging out with his brother,
It's nice. But yeah, James McSweeney was there. Yeah, it was. But yeah, so we'll see what they do with the roster. Heavyweight, there can be so much momentum. How about Levi Rigters versus Gokhan Saki? I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, Orisaki gonna drop down. He could go to light heavyweight. He did fight at light heavyweight before. That is where he did become champion at and everything like that. We were all looking for a Gokhan Saki versus Vahitov fight, but then that's when Saki was like, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go to the UFC type deal. So I mean, you never know. Like I said, dude, like heavyweights it can be hopping. Light heavyweight can be hopping. You never know, man. Tyrone Spong maybe could come back eventually. And he could be heavyweight. He could be light heavyweight. Man, Tyrone Spong versus Rico Verhoeven would be something. Tyrone Spong versus Alistair Overeem. I've seen that fight 2 times as well. I think they're 1-1 as well. Because I remember the meeting at the K1 Grand Prix, because I think Alistair beat him in 2010 when he won it, and I think. Yeah.
And that was the only time. They only fought once. They only fought one time.
Oh, they only fought one time? I don't know. I thought I had for some reason I thought they were 1-1 as well, but I remember Overeem beating them. But yeah,
you might be thinking of there's so many. He fought past. Overeem's just had a hell of a career. But let's do a little like look back. When Alistair Overeem, like I've been almost like saying Badr Hari, a few different decisions here and there. He could have been the great. Alistair Overeem, legitimately, few like 1 or 2 decisions, and he is one of the greatest heavyweights to ever live. And he is in that mix. He's like, when we look at MMA, he's kind of in that like Vitor Belfort, Dan Henderson, greatest of all time of like guys we're not really ranking in the top 5, maybe top 10 kind of range. But man, he was just like a few strikes away from the 2005 Grand Prix when it really mattered, and then he was a few strikes away from the UFC Heavyweight Championship. Maybe I've just been rude to Badr, but Alistair Overeem, he's been right there. And
Overeem has, man. And like I said, dude, I mean, if he could beat Rico, man, to add the Glory Heavyweight title to his mantle, man, like he definitely could be the greatest heavyweight in all of combat sports. You put in kickboxing, MMA over there. Like saying he definitely and he's doing this at 42. So hey, man, kudos to him, man. Like I said, overall, Glory was a great event. I can't wait for Glory Rivals to come, which will be soon, November 5th, and then boom, like 2 weeks later, we're getting Glory 82. With the welterweight title. Let's see what they got going on for 2023, and let's get a Glory Collision 5 over here.
BeyondKick.com/schedule for your upcoming kickboxing fight. It is so easy to use. Check out BeyondKick.com. Go click on that. Articles and Tim Wheaton articles, especially, just support your boys. But yeah, lots coming up in the next little while. We got 1162 will be a kickboxing main event on that one. We have one on Prime Video 3. We'll have a kickboxing title on the line. Infusion 113 and Infusion 95 coming up on October 22nd. There's also a Crush 142. There's lots coming up in the next couple of weeks here. It's going to be a really fun time for combat sports. It's going to be a good time. But yeah, BeyondKick.com/schedule. We're all working on it. We're all trying to make it your home for the kickboxing world. But yeah, it's just been what a week it's been, man. I'm looking forward to some time off here. I'm so tired.
Yeah, man, I don't blame you. And remember, guys, come get the merch, fighterfirst.shop, saying support the show, support Calf Kicks, support it all, man. Come around, just walk around with some cool merch. That way people will get talking, be like, oh, what's that shirt about? Let them know it's about the greatest combat sport, which is kickboxing, and then we can get more kickboxing fans out there.
That's absolutely right. I mean, it's a fuel crisis right now. Don't turn on your heat. Go buy sweaters. Go buy my sweaters. Brandon, hugely appreciate your time. We'll talk to you soon, sir.
All right, man.
Cheers.